Scentsy Organization 101 is starting today. That's right, guys. This week we are going to talk all about organization, one of my favorite things ever. I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys step by step through my planner. Remember, this is what I'm going to be using for actually planning my months. I'm going to use it for its true intended purpose for the first time ever in my life. And we're going to go over some other organizational strategies that you guys can implement as well for your business. Let's get ready. Let's get set. Let's go. Welcome to another wonderful Tuesday training. I have lots of stuff planned for you guys today. We are talking today about one of my favorite topics ever, which is organization. Yeah, I know. A lot of you out there are
like, yeah, I'm organized, no big deal. I know where my catalogs are, I know where the order forms are, that's all I need.
There's a couple more things that we can actually implement to make our businesses run smoother, more efficiently, and in the long run, by doing all of that, yes, we will actually end up being better business owners of our Scentsy businesses. If you forget, it's all fun when we're working our Scentsy business, we're going through our months, we're having a great time, we're meeting new people, we're working our customers, but all of that really boils down to we are running businesses. Can you believe that? We are. And so in order to run successful businesses, small business owners and large business owners all over the world will tell you that one of the key things that you have to have within a business is structural organization. And so for us, within our direct sales, our Scentsy business itself, we really need to hold ourselves accountable to that standard. Some really great tools are out there for all of us to use. And the really great thing that I love about being my own boss or my own CEO of my Scentsy business is the simple fact of I can change my mind whenever I want to. If something's not working, I don't have to get a group of people together to discuss it. I make a decision. I change what needs changing. I implement it. If it works, awesome. Bonus points if I got it on the first try. And if it doesn't work, you know what, guys? There's tons of other ways to do it. I think you guys probably know by now, one of my very favorite things about working my Scentsy business is for the simple fact of it's me. My decisions, my choices on what I do and what I don't do, how I do it, when I do it, and the way in which I do it. This is especially true for all of you out there. I hope that if you guys follow me every week or every month, throughout my videos, if you have a sponsor, director who is also giving you these great ideas and giving you tips and ideas to run with, this is when you guys really need to be taking all of this information that you're gathering and really convert it into something that is going to work successfully for you and your business on your time schedule. Now, maybe you guys are like me. I am a working mother. I have 3 beautiful children, one who is over the age of 18, thank you, out of the house, but yes, she still requires a lot of upkeep. My 15-year-old son, you could probably leave him in his room with his Xbox and his music and his phone, and he will live there happily, maybe with some snacks and the occasional bottled water for probably about a good 3 weeks. He's pretty self-sufficient. He's in the mode right now. I have my youngest who just turned 7 at Christmas, and let me tell you guys have seen Little Miss. If not, then you can catch her back in other videos that I've done before. I try to find my golden hour between the time that I get home and she gets home from school to try and do things like this. Can you hear this? Silence in my house. It's amazing. Whenever I can have the house to myself, it is completely silent. My husband thinks this is odd. He may be out running an errand or whatever. He'll come home and he'll be like, why is it so quiet in here? You don't even have any music on or anything. No, I don't, because all day long I have people in my face at work, love them to death, but I have people all over me all day long at work. When I'm at home and little Miss is home running around, you know, my quiet time is so precious to me. So if you guys are anything like me, this is when I find my true Goldilocks of time, right? This is time, especially for me. I try not to use it cleaning, even though it's really hard to not do it, but I hold myself back. And I really try and use this time to focus on my business and what needs to be done for my business, because it truly is an amazing opportunity for me to get some real meat of my business work done. Does that make sense to any of you guys out there? If so, I'd love to hear from you too. But I find that having that balance and finding that quiet time, that Goldilocks time zone of whatever it is, for some of you, it might be first thing in the morning before the kids wake up. For others of you, it may be late into the evening after everybody's in bed and asleep. Mine is basically right before she gets home from school. You know, I get home from work, she gets home from school, I've got that piece of time, and then the piece of time after she goes to bed and until I go to bed. That is truly my time, and I try to organize my Scentsy business using that time frame. Because, again, guys, this is the beauty of having this business that we have, right? We get to mold it. We get to decide when we're going to work, how we're going to work, and on what schedule we're going to do it, if we have a schedule. If you don't, I recommend that you get one. I teased a little bit about my actual planner. Yes, guys, yes. Like I said, I'm going to be using this for its true intended purpose, which is planning.
I am a self-confessed tech geek. If you give me an app, if you give me something to do on my phone or my tablet or my laptop or whatever, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to dig in. I love the techie stuff.
So my love for being that tech geek that I am, I will actually get a lot of apps, and I use apps for different purposes. Obviously, I have a good number of apps that I use for actually creating marketing materials for my business, things like that. I have a couple different apps that are list generators, so I can keep like a running tally of a to-do list, a grocery list, a bills list. I can do all of that through my phone. I have other apps, my banking apps and my budget apps that help me with my personal finances, and then I also have a couple that actually help me organize my business finances as well. So I'm able to budget things that I'm using for my business, things like that. All of those apps are great, and I love them and I adore them with all of my tech geek heart. But at the same time, I found that as much as I rely on my phone, because it's with me everywhere I go, I'm recording on it right now. I just got the 7 Plus, so I'm really excited about the new camera features and stuff like that.
Tech geek.
As great as all of those apps are, as wonderful, and as much as I love my phone, at the same time, there comes to be a piece of my business that I'm really, truly, I don't want to say missing out on, but I feel that I could enhance. I could work it a little bit better, and actually probably will get a better use and a better result out of doing so. That's when my planner comes into play. All right, so as much as I'm not the whole New Year's resolution person, I do try and do a fresh start every year. And for those of you, again, who follow me on social media, maybe my Instagram or my Snapchat, I am totally a girly girl when it comes to certain things. This year, I am on a complete rose gold kick, so hence the reason I had to get this rose gold hardcover. Okay, so let's talk about this planner for a minute.
Planners, planners, planners. Which one do I choose? There's so many options. I don't know which one's for me. I don't know how to use one. I've never used one before. Or I've used one all the time, but I've actually only used it for like a month, and then it sat on the shelf the rest of the time.
No matter what category you fall in when it comes to planners, just think of it this way, okay? The same way that we look at how is our business going to work best for us individually, then we want to look at a planner and how it's going to work best for you individually, okay? So take all of the stuff that you see on social media, because if you're anything like me in your feed, you see a lot of it, especially this time of year. I see ads for all the big name planner products and people talking about all this money that they're spending and things like this. Okay, now I love certain things. I do have preferences on certain brands and products when it comes to certain things. However, when it came to my planner this year, like I said, I've had planners in the past, and yes, I've used them as big giant calendars, which is what they really are, right? But at the same time, I had to break it down, and I had to go, okay, Jacqui, you put all this stuff into your apps, and yeah, it reminds you and it sends you notifications when to do things, but how are you really planning each week? Because I do have somewhat of a scalable system that I've put in place about 2 years ago when I started these weekly videos. So if you followed along for a while, you guys have probably seen or heard me talking about this scalable system of how I work my business each and every month. As much as I scale it day by day, and then week by week, and then month by month, at the same time, even though I knew what I was supposed to be doing every day, were you guys anything like me? I have to admit, I'm gonna tell you a really deep, dark secret. My purse is filled with Post-it notes. Yeah. Okay, because here's why. Okay, I'm a working mom, right? I am at the workplace. Some days I'm working from home. Some days I'm working in the office. I've also got endometriosis in a larger stage, and so I have a lot of doctor's appointments. I've got lots of stuff going on with that. I've got my kids' stuff going on. I got the household stuff going on over here. And so all throughout a busy day and any given week of any given month, stuff comes up, right? Are you guys anything like me out there? Okay, tell me that I'm not alone in this, right? I'm at work and maybe I'm getting a text from a customer or even a team member or my director of, oh, don't forget about this, or, ooh, can you get back to me on this? And what I will do, because I'm in the middle of a work day, right? As much as I love my organizational apps and as much as they help me, yeah, I will admit, I'm the person who writes it down on a Post-it note. And then I stick it in my purse because I'm like, oh, when I get home, right? Are you there? Are you with me? When I get home, I'll put it into the app. Or when I get home, I'll write it down on my calendar. Or when I get home, yeah, I'll remember to do that because I wrote it down and it's in my purse. I'll get it. I got Post-it notes in there from like a month ago, okay? Of stuff that I thought in my head, yeah, I'll do that when I get home. And then what happened when I got home, right? I had that little Goldilocks of time. I answered a couple texts, or I went ahead and I ran to the grocery store, you know, because I was able to go to the grocery store without a 7-year-old chasing me around the store, or whatever it is. And then what happened? The night went on. I got to whatever needed to be done that night or whatever. And then I got tired and then I went to bed. And then the next day started. And then I started all over again. And that Post-it note just lives in my purse, mocking me, laughing at me every time I'm digging around looking for my keys in there. Yeah, they're there, laughing at me. I'm gonna try better. Okay? So, this is where I'm at, okay? This is where I'm at. I'm coming from the world of, yes, I had great intentions. I bought a planner last year, and I used it for like 3 months straight. Then I stopped. Yeah, I stopped. And then it just kind of became a, oh yeah, I'm gonna mark out dates for these parties, and I really didn't use it that much. I'm not gonna lie. I can't lie to you guys, we're friends. So, this leads me to my new year, new me moment. You guys see lots of advertisement for planners. You guys see your friends talking about planners that they love, that they have to have. And I was one of those people going, oh, that's it. I'm going to dive into the world of planning. I'm going to be a good planner this year. That is one of my personal and business goals because it fits for a lot of different things in my life. It's going to help me to keep on track with our household finances. It's going to help me keep track of my medical appointments and things like that that I need to stay on top of. It's also going to help me with my business because I'm actually going to plan, using my planner instead of just using it as a calendar or a big giant book of reminders. Yeah. So it's going to work on all areas of my life. And I thought, okay, new year, new me. What am I going to do, right? I'm going to look online. I'm going to see what planners everybody else is using because they all seem to love their planners. Have you seen the prices of some of these planners? As much as I want to plan, I really don't want to spend a whole lot of money on this book that I'm going to use for like 3 months and then might possibly just end up looking at it for the rest of the year. Sitting on my desk. May or may not have happened with my 2016 planner. It did happen. So this is what I did, right? I'm starting fresh. I'm starting anew. I'm really trying to be better. Okay, I'm trying to improve. So one of my close friends that I've networked with for a long while, Jess, love her to death. She is a planner gal, right? She is like my planner spirit animal when it comes to this, okay? She has her name brand planner and she has a company that she uses to get stickers for her planner and all of this. And I was talking about online or wherever I was at the time, you know, this is what I want to do, but this is my first time really using this to plan, right? Okay, not just as a calendar, not just a book of reminders. I'm actually going to use this product for its intended purpose, and you guys are going to learn more about that here in just a moment. And she said, Jacqui, you know what? Really, I mean, as much as she loves her big name brand planner, she's like, why are you going to spend all that money when you can just go to your local craft store, spend a lot less, and then just kind of get yourself into the motion. Then maybe next year, if this is going well, then by all means, buy the name brand planner. I have genius friends, people. This is why I love you all. So I did just that. I went to my local Michael's, and they have these, I'm kind of opening up off of the hard copy here. It's called a Create 365 Happy Planner, okay, the Happy Planner. And at my local craft store, Michael's, they have amazing planners, right? This is a 12 by 12 planner. I wanted a bigger size. They do have smaller ones. But I wanted this size because for me, I'm more visual. I wanted to really work this, okay? And I'm going to get into the details here in a minute. And so I went and I grabbed one, and with my coupon, plus I think it was already on sale anyway, when it all came down to it, I spent $13 in this planner. $13, okay? And it had everything that I wanted, right? It had the frilly, cool, girly girl stuff, right? All the tabs were there for all of my months. I liked the fact, I'll show you here, I like the fact that I could do a grid view for each month. And then after that, it then breaks it down, you know, day by day. So you can literally plan day by day. So I really liked all of that. The one thing that I wasn't crazy about, but I thought I can live with it, right? I'm really going to work this in. I'm really going to try my best, and I'm going to be a planner this year. So this is my first go round. The only thing that I really wasn't crazy about is that the outside of it, you'll see it's, I mean, it's harder plastic, right? But it's not a hard cover. But I thought that's fine, I'll live with it. But then I went back this past weekend, and they have hard covers that you could use to snap in to your planner. So as you see on the back, maybe the Happy Planner. Okay, so they actually have hard covers that covers your book. So I now have my beautiful rose gold. It's following with me. I thought it was fate because it was also in rose gold, and that's my color this year is rose gold. So now I have my planner. So now comes the question of, what do you do with it? All right, so let's break down what I started to mention was my scalable systems. For those of you who have followed me, thank you. But for those of you who haven't or newer, about 2 years ago when I started Trading Tuesdays, I came up with my own personal kind of a scalable system. Because again, I'm a working mom. I'm busy running around like a chicken with my head cut off some weeks. Other weeks, I'm laid up on bed rest because of my medical condition. So in order for me to stay on track and on task of my business and to stay on top of things, what I thought I would do is I would give every day of the week a different theme. So when I originally started this, every day had its own theme and I pretty much stuck to it, right? Over the years, I have stuck with that. So I have found as I'm reevaluating things at the end of a new year or beginning of a new year, I reevaluate, how are things working? This way of giving every day a theme really has helped me to make sure, because again, I only have these little blocks of Goldilocks time, right? That I can really dig in and get good quality and quantity work done towards my business. So in order to make sure that I was getting every ounce of time I possibly could and being as productive as I could during those moments, this was my best way. Sunday for me is always family day. I carve this out for family time. This is one of the few times of the week that my husband and I and our children are all home. Or if we're not all home, we're at least, my son may be at his dad's and my daughter may be, with her boyfriend, whatever. But you know what I mean, okay? It's family day. So I truly block off Sundays. I try not to do any work on Sundays because I think you really have to have a good life balance. That's a whole nother video. Mondays are mail day. So on Mondays, mail day is when I actually do anything that has to do with getting the mail out. All throughout the week, what I do is if somebody has requested a catalog or if they've requested a sample, or maybe it's somebody who's interested in joining my team and I want to get them out an information packet, whatever that is, if that's happening all throughout the week and I've written my little infamous post-it note that laughs at me from my purse, I'm using my planner now in place of my post-it notes. Or
this is really how it's working so far. Let me be real, because, we're good friends. Taking those post-it notes that I'm writing down at work and sticking them in my planner. That way they aren't laughing at me anymore from my purse. I don't have to face ridicule every time that I search for my keys.
So all throughout the week as I get those requests, I go ahead and in those Goldie zones of time, without child, when it's quiet, then I will go ahead and I will get together whatever packet it is that I'm putting together for that person or people. Maybe that's my whole mailing list that I'm doing it for. And I have a bag that sits right next to my desk in my little office space. And I just pop it in there. And then on Mondays, what I do is I take this with me in the morning on Mondays. I set it up the night before on Sunday night, right next to my day bags. It's ready to go with me so I don't forget it. That's key, not forgetting the bag. And then after work, what I do is I run by the post office. I use a little kiosk in the entryway or whatever. Everything goes out in the mail. One day a week, one stop. So I'm not running back and forth to the post office 4 or 5 times a week because that can be a hassle. It takes time out of your day, blah. So I take one day to get that done. The rest of the week, I'm adding to that bag. Tuesday is always team day here in the world of Jacqui. So welcome to Tuesday trainings, because that's what we do here on Tuesdays. So Tuesday we've got our team day. So this is not only when I do my weekly training video, but I will also reach out to my team. I'll try and do some shout outs, things like that that are more team oriented. It may be sitting down if it's the beginning or the end of the month, doing my team newsletter that I do, anything like that. It can be a multitude of different things. Wednesday is wax day. So again, if you guys follow me on social media, on Instagram or Snapchat, or on my Facebook fan page, then you guys probably know that I do a lot of social media marketing. And when I do my social media marketing, yes, I will use some Scentsy images or stock images, what have you, in my marketing. But I really do, I prefer it because I know what I like to see when I'm reading through my news feed, and I know it catches my eye. I like to see people using the products that they're talking about. Now, I am a lover of Scentsy, so I personally change out the wax in my house 1 to 2 times a week. in my car, there is always a scent circle, but I use the scent circles in the car. I use the washer whiffs in my laundry. I use the hand soap in my bathroom. You get my drift? I use all these products on a daily basis. So Wednesday, I really look for ways, not only is it my day to like change out wax, but I will also use Wax Wednesday as maybe it's making samples that day. Anything that has to do with wax. So making samples, or because when I make samples, usually I'll make like a big batch at one time so I can get it done and over with, and I can just grab and go for the rest of the month. Or it may be me changing out the wax in my house and simply taking a picture of it, or doing a fun little quick 30-second video or something like that and posting it out there. I think that the more that you can show you using your products and really giving that first person perspective of using the products, I think that sells them over any salesy infographic that you want to post. Honestly, I truly believe that. Thursday is follow-up day. So on follow-up day, that is when I truly go through all of my previous orders or my recent orders and do follow-ups. I do a check-in, let them know what's going on, do my regular follow-ups. Friday is order day. So every single Friday I try to compile any individual orders that I have into a party order, and I will submit that. And I do that for a lot of my local customers. And then I always will try to close parties on Fridays as well, because 9 times out of 10, a lot of people, including me and my husband, we get paid on Fridays. So Friday is usually a really good day to close parties for me and my business. Saturday is carved out as my social media day, and that's truly when I go through and I do a lot of my social media posting. I'll do pre-planned postings, because on Facebook you can go in there and you can actually schedule it to post on a certain day. So there's lots of ways that you can do that. I will go in there, I will do some fun stuff with Pinterest. I love my Pinterest for a lot of different reasons. Instagram is truly my favorite social media source. I love Instagram. I have found the most success with my Instagram marketing. And I'm actually, if you guys stay tuned, we'll be talking a little bit more about Instagram here in just a little bit.
But Saturday is when I usually am carving out for that, because a lot of times on Saturdays, I might be doing some family things, but again, my phone is always with me, so I'm able to do things using apps and different things on my phone to be able to get that done all at the same time while not ignoring my family. It's awesome.
Okay, so now you guys see how I've scaled my business, right? One day, different theme. So that way, what have I done? I have now touched on all aspects of my business. I've touched on orders, I've touched on marketing, I've touched on customer focus by doing some follow-ups. I've touched on being a leader within my own team for my team members by having a team day. You know, all of this kind of all rolls into a really perfect business model. Now comes the part of the actual planning. Like I said, guys, this is where I have fallen short in years past. Yes, every day has always had its own theme, right? However, as great as that sounds on paper, because this is honestly how I've done it for the last 2 years, I've had these days specifically set aside for certain things, but I wasn't planning my days. I actually use this at my job during the day. Every Monday morning from 7 until 7:45, I do a prioritized scheduling period. It's 45 minutes of me at my desk, at work, and I literally will prioritize my entire week. I will go through my different teams, things like that. I will set up my agendas for those meetings that I'm going to be having with my team. If I'm doing any training classes, I'll get that coordinated out. You know, what day am I going to plan the class materials? What day is the class? I literally plan out my week when it comes to my job, right? So I take 45 minutes to plan it out. Okay, I have this meeting that's coming up on Thursday, so on Tuesday from 1 to 2, I'm going to spend that time prepping for the meeting. That way, when the meeting time comes up on Thursday, all I have to do is grab my materials and go. Or if I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation or whatever, it's done, ready to go for the meeting. I'm not waiting at the last minute trying to figure out what to do, or when that meeting comes up, go, oh yeah, hey guys, thanks for coming to my meeting. I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I don't really remember exactly why I set this meeting up. Yeah, that doesn't fly, okay? So I have to be prepared. So I've done this at work for so long. It really honestly shocked me that I was like, why am I not doing this in my Scentsy business? So now, on Sundays, on family day, or sometimes on Saturdays, if I have extra time, if we're not running around or whatever, I'll do it on Saturday. That's what I ended up doing this week, because I did it on Saturday, is I sat down with my planner and I pulled it out to this week and I said, what am I doing this week? So I planned out what I was going to do every day this week. So let me share that with you now. So we've got Monday. My oldest, she started a new job. So we've got some, remember, this is personal and this is business all rolled into one. And then I had a couple of tasks for myself because Monday, remember, is mail day. So what I did is I set up to get my sample mail outs, and I did blackcurrant bubbly for the samples, and I was going to return emails yesterday. So I got those things done, which was awesome. Tuesday today, dun 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 dun, it's Training Tuesday. It also happens to be Scentsy payday, so I always mark that off. Training Tuesday, and I plan also this evening doing some social media marketing for that. Tomorrow for Wax Wednesday, I'm going to actually use that to sort my testers and to label my totes. Organization is not just planners, people. It's also storage. I think that by having an organized office space, it truly makes it a happier place to work and to live. It is for me anyway. So my local craft store, Michael's, it just happens to be the one that is easiest for me and I always get the most coupons for. But they had these amazing, they're actually scrapbook cases, right? These guys are 12 by 12. You can see there, right? It's gonna hold a lot. They've just got little tabs that can open. Okay, I grabbed 5 of these because they were on sale for $4. $4 for these totes. So my plan for tomorrow is I'm going to go through and I'm actually going to sort my testers because we're coming up to a transition month, which is a month in which we change catalogs. And when it comes to transition time, that's the time of year that I want to take out all the testers that are going away. So I put them away into storage, and then I pull out all the active or current testers that I will be using. Because guys, this month marks my 5th year with Scentsy, and so as you can imagine, I have a lot of testers. So I am going to be doing a lot of sorting and organizing with these tomorrow on Wax Wednesday. So you see how that theme is really playing into piece. So that's Wednesday. Now remember, you may also see on here it says laundry day. Yeah, this is also my personal planner too, because I also block out my household chores this way too. Thursday, for follow-up day, I'm going to, well, that's personal. I'm going to call in my prescription refills, make a doctor appointment. But I'm going to get my follow-ups, my calls, and my texts. And then when I'm doing this on Thursday, I'm actually going to write in here where I leave off, what I get done. And so then that way next week, when I'm pre-planning on Saturday or Sunday, I'll know exactly where to start. On Friday, it's party day in my world. So yes, I'm going to be closing out one of my Texas basket parties. And then I also do a fun little mail out gift box or bag to my host. Because again, it's not local to me, but I still like to make them feel like they're local. So I do a very nice thank you box for my host. And then it's my husband and I, we both get paid on the same day. So that's all my personal bills I got to pay. If anybody wants to pay them, feel free. Okay, Saturday. That's when I might be doing my meal planning for the family. But then I also have down here, what did I put? Family lunch. What does that say? Oh, retail therapy. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I'll probably do some shopping. Nail salon. Okay. Weekly planning and set up bag parties. So for my Scentsy business, that's when I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do next week's just like I did here. And then I'm also going to go ahead and I'm going to reset my bag parties so that way they're ready to go to be mailed out. And then Sunday, like I said, that's basically family day for me, but I've got it set up for cleaning day, wash the bedding, clean out clothes. Yeah, again, if anybody wants to do that too, feel free. So are you guys kind of seeing the actual planning that I'm doing, right? So this means, like I said, every day has a theme. That was great. That worked well for me. But when it came down to every Tuesday or every Thursday, what is it that I need to be doing during that time? That's where I think I'm falling short, or I have been falling short. So this is my way, again, to set at the beginning of the week. So on Saturdays, which is how I've started doing it so far, but either Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to open this guy up and I'm going to sit down. It took me 15 minutes to sit down and just write down what you see here. Okay. Obviously, as I go throughout the week, I will probably add to it. This thing may start having lots of post-it notes in it, but that's fine, because then when I'm setting up for next week, I can take whatever post-it notes or whatever little notes that I've jotted down that maybe I haven't gotten to. And guys, it is okay if you do not get to everything that is on your list for the week. You know why? Because you can just put it back onto your calendar for next week. So anything that I maybe don't get done here, I can then just put it back on for next week, okay? So I can still make sure that it gets done. I don't have to hold myself and feel guilty because I didn't do it, because maybe something happened or came up, or I just wasn't feeling well and I couldn't get it done. I'm not going to hold that over my own head, right? I'm just going to simply put it on the planner for the following week. So at least it's written down and I haven't forgotten it, because that, in the big scheme of things, is the key point. Not forgetting what you've intended to do. That's what I'm trying to eliminate and really trying to work and focus on by using my planner this year.
So where does all this leave us?
As you guys can see, I'm getting more organized. I'm really getting more detailed in my organization. I am really pre-planning. I'm being more intentional with setting out what I'm going to do every week. And then that way, I feel by being more intentional, I'm really going to be able to be more detailed with it and really make sure that I'm getting everything done that I truly need to be getting done. That's the takeaway from all of this. So if you're like me, maybe you're just starting out really using a planner to plan and not just as a big book of reminders, but to actually use it for planning ahead and really looking forward and being intentional with what you plan to do, hopefully this will give you some ideas on how to do that. Now again, how I've done it, how I've laid things out, use it like a template. Again, take your week and see what is going to work best on what days for you in your business. You know, it may work out differently. Maybe by using the template that I'm using, it works just well for you. You think that that's something that would work well. That's great. Feel free to tweak it as you need to make those changes and really make it you. Give it your spin, because that's what it all boils down to. This is your business. This is my business. It can be individualized to how we need to work. Now, I know I kind of touched on Instagram a little bit a little while ago. Next week, I'm going to be doing a screencast. So I'm going to actually be using my phone to screencast. That will be a first time for that. I'm very excited to do that. So I'm going to actually connect my phone into my tablet. I'm going to screencast out from my apps and from my Instagram. And I'm really going to dig in and show you guys a little bit of the behind the scenes of the apps that I'm using, how they're working for me, and hopefully give you some ideas on how they might be able to work for you as well. So that's what's coming up next week. If this video, if you found it to be helpful, please give me some thumbs up. I would love to hear how you guys are organizing and how, if you guys use a planner, how do you use it? Do you
Really use it for planning purposes, or were you like me and like kind of using it but not really using it to its purpose?
Because if you weren't, that's okay. It's a new year. We can start off, we can get it done, we can really start this year off on the right foot. Don't forget to follow me along on social media. Speaking of social media, you can join in the fun and the shenanigans that go on there. So you can follow along Don't forget next week to check back in for that amazing screencast. I look forward to great things coming out of that. I hope you all have had a wonderful week. I hope you have another great week coming up. And until next week, peace, love, happiness. Bye.